Hi, I'm John Hornick. Welcome to my Italian Faves series. This lesson is Porcini Fettucine with porcini mushrooms, chicken, and pancetta. While I was doing my Porcini Pasta lesson, I was thinking about how to use the pasta. Fresh porcini mushrooms, which are one of the world's best, are hard to find in the US, but I had a good supply of dried porcinis. So this dish combines porcini fettuccine with reconstituted dried porcini mushrooms with chicken and pancetta playing the protein role. So let's start cooking. Okay, we're going to bring the mushrooms to boil in their soaking water. And if you had about a cup of dried mushrooms and you put in enough water to cover them, you probably have about a cup of soaking liquid. So we're going to put this on high, we're going to bring it to a boil, and when it gets to a boil, we're going to reduce the heat and let it simmer for about 5 minutes. Okay, now we're going to saute the pancetta. I have it already in the pan here, and I have it right now on medium heat. And we're doing it in this big pan because everything is going to get finished in this pan, okay? You don't want to do it in a little pan because the fat from cooking this pancetta, I want to keep that in this pan so it adds flavor to the next steps. So we're just going to saute this till it is just lightly browned. Okay, our mushrooms have just come to a boil. Now we're going to reduce the heat to simmer. Let them simmer about 5 minutes. Okay, our pancetta is lightly browned. Now what we're going to do is remove it from the pan and leave that fat in there. If it was dry at all while you were starting to cook it, before it started to render its fat, just add a little olive oil to the pan. All right, now let's season our chicken. The notes call for chicken breast, skinless and boneless. These are breast tips, okay? So I cut the breast for some other preparation and I cut the tips of them off, the pointy tips, and saved them, and that's what I'm using tonight. But you can just use chicken breast. I'm just using what I had, okay? And so we're gonna give them a little bit of seasoning, salt and pepper, both sides. You know, I like to pat it in so it doesn't fall off. Okay, so I let the mushrooms simmer for about 5 minutes. Now, I'm just gonna chop them a little bit because they are pretty big, all right? So I'm gonna just cut them until they are bite-sized, but I'm taking them out of the mushroom water with a slotted spoon because I don't really want to lose much of that liquid because we're going to use that in the next step. Okay, so what we're going to do is just cut these into bite-sized pieces, okay? It doesn't require much cutting. There, that's good. Okay, now we're going to add our butter to the pan and let it melt. Then we're going to saute the chicken. Okay, now we're going to saute the chicken. We're going to swirl them around in that butter a little bit. And we're going to cook them, both sides, until they're about 3/4 cooked, okay? We don't want them to be cooked all the way through because they're going to be cooked a little bit more later on. And if you get some brown, great. If you don't get brown, that's fine too. Okay, they've been cooking on this side, sauteing on this side for about, a minute and a half, something like that. We're gonna turn them over. We've gotten some nice brownness starting on these pieces, okay? We'll let them go for like another minute or two. Okay, we're getting some nice brown on both sides. It's been in there about another 2 minutes. We're gonna take these pieces out of the pan and we're going to cut them into bite-sized pieces. But first, we're going to add to the pan the chicken stock and the mushroom water. We're starting with about probably close to 2 cups, okay? We want to reduce that till it's about 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup. All right, here we have the chicken pieces on the board. We're going to cut these into bite-sized pieces. Now you might ask, why didn't we do that before we sauteed them? The reason was because if we had done that, they probably would have cooked too fast and we might not have gotten much brown, okay? So we're cutting them now into bite-sized pieces. And as you can see, the center is still pink, which is what we want because they're going to be going back into the pan to get some more cooking. Okay, now let's just keep these warm. All right, now we're going to cook the pasta, and we're going to cook it in boiling water that's been salted so it tastes kind of like the ocean, okay? And we have boiling water here, and this is freshly made Porcini Fettucine, right? So it only needs to cook about 30 seconds to 1 minute, all right? Okay, so the pasta was cooking for about, I'd say just about a minute actually. Now we're going to run cold running water over it to halt the cooking, all right? Okay, now we're just going to drain that and hold it aside. Okay, our liquid has reduced to, I'd say probably about 1/3 of a cup. Okay, now we're going to put the chicken, mushrooms, and pancetta back into the pan. And I combined them all onto this one sizzle plate, so they're all together. Now what we want to do is cook that until the chicken is just cooked through. You can see some pink here. When that's gone, it'll be ready. Okay, our chicken has cooked through. I'm putting this down to simmer, and I'm just going to taste it. See if we need to adjust the seasoning. I don't think we do, okay, so we're not going to add any salt or pepper at this time. But now what we're going to do is add the fettuccine back into the pan, or into this pan, to just to warm it, okay, and to coat it with sauce. So if it's sticking together a little bit in your pot, just shake it, separate it. Now let's just stir that up to warm it and to coat it and to separate it and to mix it, okay? All right, now we're going to just let that warm for a little bit. It's on simmer. Okay, now we're going to plate up, okay? And what you want to do is just try to divide everything pretty equally between the bowls, all right? Now we're going to garnish with a little bit of Sabatino truffle zest. This is optional because you may or may not be able to find it, right? You may not have it. We're just garnished with a little bit of that. And some Parmesan, freshly grated Parmesan, or not freshly grated, but grated Parmesan cheese. Okay? So that's it. That is Porcini Fettucine with chicken, pancetta, porcini mushrooms. You can see photos of the final dish on my Instagram, which is @Chef's Apprentice, Cook Like a Pro. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.